Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 of the My Team here on F122. Thank you for your continued support over on the second channel on YouTube. The first 2 episodes have gone down very well indeed, so thank you for that. Do please continue to leave your feedback in the comment section. Make sure you drop the video a like as well, and of course subscribe to the channel too. All 3 of those things really help the channel and push the content to new viewers, so I'd really appreciate it if you could drop the video a like and leave a comment as well. And of course, if you are enjoying, then subscribe and you'll never miss one. If you want to come and watch them live in their entirety rather than these edited highlights, then there is a link in the description to the Twitch channel where you can come across and join me. We're in Australia today. We've taken a bit of a backward step with regards to the performance index. We're now the 9th slowest team and actually significantly behind McLaren and AlphaTauri, unfortunately. So we're probably looking at 17th and 18th place on pure pace, but hopefully we can pull something out the bag with qualifying. Hopefully we can pull something out the bag with race strategy, and maybe we can do a little bit better. There have been some changes to this track, of course, since we raced it on the last game. When they raced here in real life, they raced with the new track layout, and there's a couple of corners have been removed, a handful of corners have been widened, and perhaps we'll throughout the course of the episode, rather than specifically go in and show you them, if the opportunity comes up to show you which corners have been widened and removed, then I will do so. So thankfully, fully dry throughout the course of the entire weekend. A number of people have been getting wet Australian Grand Prix or practice or qualifying, and I'm not about driving in the wet. I've driven in the wet once on this game. That was in an online multiplayer game, and I did not do well. So let's go to practice, because we're not going to be able to spend any more of our resource points, etc. We'll have to contemplate at some point soon changing out some components, but at the minute we're all right. 28% on the MGUH already after just 2 Grand Prix is quite concerning. 23% on the turbocharger as well, 30% on the gearbox, but at least we have 4 of those. Although, to be fair, considering we're at the back, taking grid penalties isn't really that much of an issue. So we'll try and manage it. But let's go to practice, try and earn some more resource points, and then from there, hopefully, have a decent qualifying and race. Drop the video a like, subscribe, drop a comment, and hopefully we can do well this weekend. Just managed to get green. Just had to do it on a hard tyre rather than a soft or a medium, but we just managed to get a green one in there on the fuel management. Fuel required, I can do it on minus 37 laps, although that was with me lifting and coasting over the line. So I'm still probably going to need just a bit more fuel than the full length of the race. However, again, we do expect to get lapped, so we might only need like 56 laps worth of fuel rather than 57 laps worth of fuel. I think it's 58 laps around, or 57 laps around Australia. We'll find out in due course. But we've been able to get most of the almost everything, basically, so I'm really pleased with that. I'm going to try... We've been linked to setup in chat, so I'm going to try and see in another practice session whether the setup that has been linked is actually any good, and whether I'm faster with it or whether I'm slower with it, if it makes any difference whatsoever. So I'm going to try that in practice too, but I'll do that off camera. If it works, I'll mention it at the beginning of quali. If it doesn't, then I'll use the preset and I'll see you in quali anyway. 700 odd resource points added, development boosts applied. We did that test with, oh, I'm going to go up to drive level 3 as well. We did the test with a setup and the, like an actual setup and the default setup, and the difference was 13 milliseconds. So for the Australia setup that we got off the Sim Racing Setups website, there's no real difference. I did feel more comfortable with the default setup. I made less mistakes with the default setup. I felt a bit more planted, so I think I'm going to stick with that one for quali and the race. But it's good to know that there are custom setups out there that are starting to be put about that have decent lap times attributed to them. So let's jump into quali. We'll use that default balanced setup because I felt a little bit more comfortable with that, knowing that I'm not really losing anything time-wise by not using a custom setup, at least here at this particular moment with the car as it is right now. Right, quali time. Can we, for the first time in 3 Grand Prix, make it to Q2? We are going to do a 20.1. Okay. 120.1. We're not going to improve. 120.4. We're not going through, so we'll return to the garage and we'll see if we make it into Q2 or not. Underboard, yeah, underfloor damage is 6 minutes. Skip repair time, that's going to be the end of the session. And we finish P14 into Q2 for the first time. 1.368 seconds off the pace. And Teo makes it through as well. Teo makes it through as well. Zhou Guan Yu was really slow. 3 seconds off the pace with a 121.8 compared to his teammate's 120 flat. He was 1.8 seconds off his teammate. That certainly will have played a factor. Daniel Ricciardo is just seemingly slow on this game right now. I don't know why. I know he's not having a great season IRL, but P18 when Lando's P8, is there really that much of a difference between Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris? 7/10 of a second, maybe. We're through though. We're through. We'll be starting in our best potential grid slot. Yes, yet. We started 18th, we've started 17th. Now we'll start at least 16th. Into Q2 we go. So after one run, we were P16. I think we might have just made it into Q3. We have P8! P8! Q3! Where's that come from? P14 in Q1, P8 in Q2. I haven't saved any tyres for this. Oh man! At 120.2, everybody seemed to go slower. For some reason. We're faster than Charles in a Ferrari. What? Q3, let's go. Teo is 6/10 slower than me. I must just be faster at Australia than I thought. Because the car's not great. We were where we thought we would be in Bahrain and Jeddah. But apparently in Australia, I've got a bit about me. In our first Q3 appearance, here in Australia, we put it P7. P7. Mr. Saturday, apparently, but only in Australia. P7? What? Boom, boom, boom. Oh my god. Again, all of my laps were bang on. A 120.1, a 120.2, and a 120.1 again. In Q1, a 120.1 was only good enough for 14th. But then a lap that was a 10th slower had me positions further up. That lap's the same as I did in Q1, and it had me 14th. Now I'm P7 with it. Still 1.7 seconds off the pace though, as Charles puts in a 1:18.4. We're ahead of Lando, we're ahead of Mick, we're ahead of Fernando. Let's see how the race goes. It might be completely different on race pace. We'll wait and see. This might be, because of the nature of it being an adjusted track, and obviously the AI having to have been tweaked for this track because it's had an adjusted layout, it might be an outlier with regards to the overall pace of the car and me. So it might not be a difficulty level thing. It might not be a difficulty level thing. It might just be an Australia thing. We'll gauge and see what race pace is like here in Australia. And then we'll see how we qualify in Imola next time out. And if we do this again in Imola and I'm much faster, then we'll think about the difficulty level. But for now, I'm thinking it's just an Australia thing because it's an adjusted layout. It is 58 laps around Australia. Starting P7 then for our first start in the top 10. Is it to be our first points? You think it's track specific because you've done specifically the same as me as well. Quite quick in Australia compared to the other two. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Starting grid then. Well, we know what the starting grid is because we were involved in Q3. So I'll just skip and we'll have a look at the race strategy. I'll show you the race director. What's everyone else starting on? Everyone else is, well, the rest of the top 10 are starting on hards. It's recommending that I start on hards and everyone else is starting on softs. Oh, Teo's taken a penalty. Teo's taken a penalty and he's going to start at the back. Unbelievable. Then that is potentially 6 seconds for the race, quicker than the projected time of going hard medium. So medium hard will absolutely work for us. If there's a safety car, we can potentially switch to a soft again at the end, but fuel wise, I'll put 108 kilos in. We've got an extra 1 lap of fuel, and then if there's a safety car, bang in, we can save a little bit more and then burn it in the race. But that's going to be our strategy. Medium hard. We're going to be the only car starting on mediums. Everyone else in front of us is on hards. A couple behind are on hards. And everyone behind them is on softs. We're hoping track position will pay dividends for us. I don't know if it's going to work. But let's jump in. I can't believe it. Look at that yellow car. It looks so odd being that high up the grid. Me, P7. I'm so annoyed, frustrated that Teo has taken a grid penalty. That's such a shame. Such a shame for him to start at the back when the car is quite pacey here, it seems. Even he was following me up into Q2. Teo got through to Q2 and he'd been nowhere near Q2 prior to that session in quali. So it looks like those that are starting on the soft might go soft, hard, medium and then take the mediums to the end. That'll be intriguing. That doesn't seem like the best option to me, or even remotely close to it. Seems like a bit of an odd way to try and get to the end. If they can make it work, they can make it work. But I don't know, because then they're not necessarily going to get track position on those that are that are running the hard at the beginning. That's an odd strategy to try and take. Really odd strategy to try and take. Regardless, here we go. Australian Grand Prix, starting P7, trying not to get destroyed and swallowed at the beginning of the race. A decent start, a really decent start. Car on my inside. Ocon, sorry, out of shape. We're up into P6 for Christ's sake. Gasly's followed me through as well. Ocon had a terrible start. I'm expecting the top 5 to just disappear into the distance, to be honest. We're missing a Red Bull from in there as well. Checo's up to P8. He's just made a position behind us. He must have had a grid penalty as well, Sergio Perez. There's no way that he qualified that far down. Running P6 on lap 1 of the Australian Grand Prix. Although Pierre Gasly would very much like to come past, it seems. Using my battery here to try and stay ahead, and that is working. I don't think anyone in front is going to be slowing down enough to let me have even an inkling of coming through, do you? Strong first lap though. I really am having to use my battery to defend from those behind at the minute though. When DRS becomes enabled, I'm really going to struggle. I'm not expecting to be in DRS range of Lewis Hamilton by the time we get to lap 2. Even though they're on hards and I am on a medium. Checo's having a look at Pierre Gasly. Those on the softs have started much better than some of the ones at the back on a hard, haven't they? They've flown up. I wonder how many positions have been lost by those that started P8, 9, 10. So Ocon went really far wide, didn't he, on those hard tyres in T1. I don't know whether he had a little touch from the Mercedes or not. There have been 2 pitters, as you can see there at the bottom of the screen, on the bottom left, bottom of the track map. An AlphaTauri and an Aston Martin, both in the pits. That'll be Yuki, because Gasly's behind us, and either Sebastian Vettel or Lance Stroll. Checo is just going to breeze past me. I am fully prepared for that. But I'm hoping we might stand potentially the chance of some points today. I don't expect to fall that far back. Depends how strong DRS is. But I'm hoping it won't be that strong. And we can just stay where we are. I might just be able, if I can get these last 2 corners right, might just be able to get within DRS range of Lewis Hamilton to have some DRS to defend from Checo on the pit straight down the first DRS zone. Not bad start. Upper position to P6. Whoa. Okay, DRS not active for that section. So it'll be the next bit where I almost certainly won't be within a second of the cars in front through the turns, the old turns 11 and 12. I'm not sure what number they are now. I'm slow through here. I was offline going in. Lucky not to get floor damage from that. There goes Checo, but to be honest, we're not really racing him, are we? He's in a bloody Red Bull. Oh, he's locked up though. See you, Checo. Bye, pal. Thanks for that, mate. You can do that as many times as he likes. We'll keep P6. I'm going to have to think about saving my battery now to try and defend from those that aren't Sergio Perez. Ocon's still P9. So not too many of the soft runners making positions. Let's have a look at the race director. So Checo's gone from 13th to 6th. How's that for a start? Gasly's gone from 11th to 8th. K-Mag's up 4 spots to 11th from 15th. Any other soft runners making much headway? No, not at this stage. Yuki and Lance Stroll. Stroll's gone soft. Yuki's gone soft hard. So a change of plan from them both. But they both needed front wing stops. We're kind of the odd one out entirely, aren't we, on these mediums? Teo's up to P17 from P22, though, so very pleased with that. There must have been quite a bit of antics going on at the back as we rounded the first lap for Teo to make up 5 positions, but happy enough to do that. I've just not got the pace to deal with the soft runners at the minute. I'm hoping on the mediums I might be able to keep Ocon and Alonso behind. Not if I do that though. There are more. There's another car at the back there now. I think Bottas has joined the gaggle behind me. Is it Bottas? Two Alpines rubbing up against each other there. It might be both Hasses actually. No, it is an Alfa Romeo. There is an Alfa Romeo back there, but the two Alpines trying to get past one another have allowed me to scamper down the road a little bit. And now K-Mag's actually taken Alonso. No, Alonso's got him back again. Sounds like a hell of a battle going on back there. Magnussen's now taken both the Alpines. K-Mag's up into P9. That must be a hell of a move. Here's K-Mag. He's behind both Alpines at this stage. Oh my god, he's just nudged him out of the way. What? So, the Alfa Romeo is behind, and then it's Alonso in front of Ocon, I think. Let's have a look, off board. Numbers. Where are the numbers? 14. That's 31 is Ocon. 14 is Alonso. So Alonso's ahead. Alonso goes deep. I don't know whether does he lock up or touch the grass? Alonso goes deep. He locks up his left front. You can see the tyre smoke. Locks up his left front. K-Mag is already having a look at Ocon. Ocon then goes for the move on Alonso. K-Mag is already there. They bump. And then K-Mag just says see you later to them both and nips through. And now that's brought Lando Norris into contention as well. I think there's a thumbnail opportunity there, don't you? That is classic K-Mag. Lando's nowhere near any of them. And then all of a sudden, there are 4 cars in the same corner. So to get the rear view mirror on, you go to settings, on-screen display, and then scroll down to rear view mirror. Virtual rear view mirror, and then you can turn it on or off. And for those, I'll do this for YouTube as well, for those that were asking how to change the customization, you go into that. You can only do that on track. You only go OCD customization on track. That's the only time that option is in the menu list. And then you can scroll through and just move things as and when you want. So, of course, I've moved my radio messages from the corner where my cam box is into the middle, just for stream and for YouTube videos. That's how you do that, for those that were asking as well. Right, crazy racing so far here in Australia. Everybody's flat out. But those fighting behind, whilst it's a great spectacle, it's really playing into my hands. I'm hoping at some point soon, the soft runners tyres will start to wear, and we'll be able to make some more advances forward. Because Pierre Gasly is surely going to have to stop twice. It did say that the expectation is that those that started on soft were going to pit for hards and then pit again. Well, no, yeah, pit for hards and then pit again for mediums at the same time that I'm going to do my one stop. Almost seems counterproductive to just put an extra stop in there. Because even though, yes, they're quick on those softs, they've not gained a whole pit stop on people, have they? Pierre Gasly hasn't gained a whole pit stop's worth of time on me. He's only 4 seconds down the road, and he's going to hards next. So it's not exactly going to be rapid then either. I'm not sure it's going to work out for them. We might be on for a really decent haul of points here in Australia. Alternatively, it could all go tits up if there's a safety car, etc. But we might be on for a decent haul of points. Checo pitting on lap 12 for softs, so that's as long as they've managed to make those soft last week. To be fair, is longer than I thought they would. And Checo was driving hard as well, making overtakes on those softs. So if the softs last that long, then they might be able to still one stop if they can make the hards last. If those that have started on hards go to softs, I would be surprised for the end, but it certainly seems like it might be doable. But they'd have to do like 45 laps on those softs, and I'm just not sure they'd do it, to be honest. We should hopefully be able to maintain that gap, and hopefully, in fact, if anything, Checo's already taken Alonso. If anything, I kind of hope that Alonso does catch K-Mag and they start fighting. Although, to be fair, K-Mag's probably going to pit soon. I think K-Mag is actually in the pits now. Indeed, he is. Kevin Magnussen pitting now. Checo 4.4 seconds behind me and coming through. He's gone soft, though. Teo's in the pits as well. Teo Pourchaire is now in the pits for us on lap 14. He started on soft, so that's as far as he can make those go as well. So they went 14 laps for him. So Checo's only lasted 12 because he was pushing so hard. Or is Checo's pit on lap 12 because he's going soft, whereas Teo might be going soft medium or soft hard. We'll wait and see. Are they two separate strategies, which is why they've pit on two different laps? Let's have a look. K-Mag's gone soft. No, they're all going soft. Oh no, Yuki pit early, didn't he? Yuki pit early to go soft hard. So they are going soft. So you imagine they'll go soft hard rather than the medium hard that we're doing. They do 14 laps on softs and then 14 laps on softs. They'll be about where we're going to stop on our mediums. But it has just thrown an extra pit stop into the equation, which I don't know, feels a bit unnecessary. Unless they didn't have any medium tyres available to them, any new medium tyres available to them, which I highly doubt. No, they can't have, because one set of medium tyres is saved for the race. Unless they're going soft, medium, maybe. They could go soft, medium. They can make those mediums last long enough, which they could do. It'd be a stretch, but they could try it. Gasly's in the pits now, so we're going to be making a position up. But then Checo's right behind me, so we'll be losing that position again immediately. So up into P6, and then very soon back down to P7 again. Checo sets the fastest lap of the race behind us, a 1:22.6. Meanwhile, I'm doing my fastest is a 1:25.2. I'm not even going to fight you, Checo. Just go for it, pal. We might be scoring some decent points today, but there is still so much work to do to get even remotely close to those front three teams. Cap to Ocon now up to 9.3. Checo started 13th when I started 7th, is 12 seconds ahead of me, and has pit. 24. Sebastian Vettel is out of the race. Sebastian Vettel is out of the race. What happened to Sebastian Vettel? That's what we want to know. Is it an engine go bang? It's an engine go bang. Sebastian Vettel's Mercedes engine has gone pop. He will be taking no further part in this Grand Prix. Is that... it's by a safety, by Marshall's exit, look, but that's not particularly well parked. If it were real life, that might be a VSC. I don't know, as in the game, it will be. Here comes Fernando. Can't block him, but positioned my car well enough that he couldn't get past. Oh, he says, as he then runs horribly wide and lets Fernando just race past. Well, I'll spend a lap in Fernando's DRS. And then we'll stop on lap 25 as Lewis Hamilton is stopping from lap 24 to go, from... Oh, they're all stopping. Okay, do what Fernando doesn't do then. Well, I need a good out lap, good in lap now then. We will box this lap, but unfortunately having lost my radio button, I can't tell the team that I want to pit. So I'm just going to have to hope that they're ready for me with my hard tyres. Jeff isn't saying anything at all, is he? There is a yellow flag there. But they're just getting rid of that car onto double waved yellows rather than... Oh, yeah, Jeff keeps trying to talk to me. And it keeps going... So the radio's just bugged entirely. I'm just going to use all my battery up. And try and hope that I regain as much of it as possible in the pit stop. Charles Leclerc puts the fastest lap of the race in on those brand new mediums. Captain Ocon is 9.9 now. And you imagine Ocon is going to be pitting this lap. If Fernando pit the last lap, they wouldn't have wanted to double stack. Here we go then. Time for our first and hopefully only pit stop. Oh, purple. We nailed it. We nailed the turn-in. Oh my god, let me go! The hell? Yes, Ocon did pit behind me as well. Oh, I can't believe it. We got a really good pit stop. And then it said gear unavailable when I tried to... stop. Lando is out on his mediums now. After starting on his softs. And he's 4.3 seconds... Sorry, starting on his hards. And he's now closing in on me like mad. Ocon's only 5.8 seconds behind as well. That pit stop's cost me 4 seconds to Esteban Ocon. Lando's going for it. This isn't my fight. It is Gasly. At the minute, it's looking likely that we will finish P11, given where everybody is on track and the nature of the tyres. And if we finish P11, I'll be absolutely devastated. I've got underfloor damage as well. Look, I've got underfloor damage too. Just thought I'd check my tyres. Probably not helping. We got underbody damage, hard tyres, and 28 laps to do. It's going to be a tough end to the Grand Prix, I think. The straight might just be long enough for me to hold him behind. Yeah, it definitely is, provided we've got about half a second's worth of gap. Then I need to be quick out of there, because otherwise he's going to get me here instead. I'll go defensive, try and force him the long way around. Oh, broke late. Try and hold the inside line. We've kept the position. This is going to be feisty now between Ocon, myself and Gasly. If I can put up a good defence, this could last for a little while. If I'm not able to put up a good defence, then it'll only be a couple of laps before they get past me. And to be fair, with as little battery left as I have, and them right up my backside, it's not going to last for long. Again, I'll go defensive into this corner. The end of the DRS zone. In fact, last time, actually, I went around the outside, didn't I? But Ocon sticking to the outside this time. We hold him off. Now he's having to worry about Pierre Gasly. You two fight. Pierre, have a go at Esteban. Have a go at Esteban, Pierre. Oh, God. If he does that, then I might stand a chance. Thing is, Pierre Gasly is the fastest of the 3 cars at the minute, and he's at the back. So I kind of need him to attack Ocon, but not get past Ocon. Because if he does get past Ocon, he'll be past me in a flash. Go away, Esteban. He keeps having a look into turn 1. That's not going to work. He's just going to get caught on the apex. He's done it again. Not great from Esteban Ocon, that. He's not going to get past doing that. He's better off waiting and then going for it into turn 3, although to be fair, he had tried that tactic a couple of times and it didn't work, so maybe he was trying something else. I think Gasly might just have gotten past Esteban, actually. Indeed he has. Pierre Gasly is past Esteban Ocon and up into P10, right behind me now, and I'm, as much as I can hold Esteban Ocon off, I don't fancy being able to hold off Pierre Gasly for anywhere near as long. And I have a horrible feeling that if Gasly gets through, it will force me offline and slow me down enough for Ocon to get through as well. If one goes past, they're both going through, basically. Tyres are wearing well, though. Although we do still have a hell of a long way to go. There's still 23 laps to go. Surely there's no way I can keep these two behind for 30 plus laps, is there? Did they crash? No, they didn't crash, but they've just dropped 2 seconds back. They must have just pushed each other. Had a real old... Oh, they didn't crash, but they just... They're side by side. Go on, Esteban. Esteban Ocon doing his best to try and help me stay in the points. Because he's got a little bit of a gap back to Esteban now. It's only a couple of tenths, but it's enough to give him enough free air to come and try and attack me. Right, take 3. Esteban had a go, fell off. Pierre had a go, fell off. Now here comes Pierre Gasly again. Still 20 laps left. I've never figured out where the best place to let a back marker, not back marker, let a back marker through. Best place to let a leader through. Is it in a slow corner? Is it down a straight? Where will I lose the least amount of time? The lap I just put in was my fastest of the Grand Prix so far. Gasly slowed to let, oh my god, Gasly slowed to let the Ferrari through, and Ocon has taken him. Gasly slowed to let the Ferrari through, and Ocon's taken him. Did he get right out of the way? He did. And then Ocon's like, cheers, pal, see ya. Thrown up the inside. Come on, Charles. You go. There you go. I've lost as little time as possible. Oh, until Charles locked up like that. Jesus Christ, Charles Leclerc threw the race away, pal. Locking up like that in front of me whilst lapping me. Now Gasly's got to get past Ocon again, and I got DRS. Thank you, Charles. Oh, giving it my all here. I'm hoping there will come a point where my hard tyres will have worn less than their mediums. But I don't know if, like, I don't know if 30% worn hards have any advantage on 40% worn mediums. So even with the Red Bull powertrain, we're at a straight line, a noticeable straight line disadvantage to the Mercedes and Ferrari drivers. I mean, call me glass half full, but is that gap to Ocon and Gasly just kind of holding itself about 1.5 to 2 seconds? Maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic, but are we holding that gap now? Lance Stroll is out of the session. Lance has now retired. In fact, that's just up here in front of me, I think. At the end of this straight, Lance Stroll has retired from last position. Because his engine's gone pop as well. That's both Aston Martins have had their engine go bang in this Grand Prix. He's not here at turn 3, he's at turn 6. No VSC or potential safety car though as the Ferrari goes past. Here are the yellow flags. And there is Lance on the left-hand side. We have 10.5 laps to go. I've used all of my battery at this point to try and maintain that gap behind. True, it is less than that. We've been lapped, haven't we? In fact, those behind are getting lapped again by, or not lapped again, but now lapped by second place. So we do only have to go to lap 57. So we have 9 laps to go now. Go on, Max. 3 go. Dan Fielding, thank you very much for the brand new Prime Gaming sub, mate. I'm gonna get DRS off the back of Max to try and defend from Esteban Ocon, because I'm going to need it. Because Esteban is right here. Getting lapped has actually worked in his favour. That's closed Esteban all the way back up. We've lost all of our advantage. He's now going to have to get out of the way for Carlos Sainz, though, and I'm hoping that will allow me the chance to try and get back outside of 1 second's distance to Esteban Ocon. I'm going to have DRS again here because we're within a second of Max. Esteban's letting the Ferrari go. I'm now going to get DRS off Max again here. Come and get me, Charles. Not Charles. Carlos. He might just have the pace anyway. I'll ease off the throttle a little bit. And I'm going to get DRS off Carlos. But Ocon's going to get DRS off me. I need to try and get out of Ocon, out of DRS range of Esteban Ocon before the start-finish straight. So I'm going to use a bit of battery. It's not going to work. Or is it? Don't know where the detection point is. Oh, fuck it. I basically just drifted all the way around that last corner. That was nervier than it needed be. Thank you very much, Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz. Yellow flag somewhere. Oh, it's here. Ocon's! I think Ocon's having trouble. I think Ocon's retiring.
Hey, everyone.
Meraki, thank you very much for joining us and sending your raid of 91. You might have joined us at the point where we're about to score our first points. Is he slowing up? What was the yellow flag for? He's slowing up! Esteban Ocon's engine's gone bang! Sue! Are we about to get some points? Are we about to get some points? Yes! Goodbye, Esteban Ocon! Au revoir, my friend! Au revoir! Meraki, we owe that to you! Thank you very much for the raid. My voice has gone. Thank you very much for the raid. Hope you stream it well, mate. How did you get on? Thank you for the follow, Falcon, Nicolou, and Green X. Welcome to the channel, guys. Bang, bang indeed! Vamos! We've let Jaws through, and we still have 4.2 seconds back to Esteban Ocon, and 11.5 back to Mick Schumacher in P11 as Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race as he starts his last lap of the race. We start our last lap as well. We're starting 57, they're starting 58. Max Verstappen's going to finish P2. He's managed to get himself in front of one of the Ferraris, in front of Carlos Sainz. Not sure what the driver's standings look like. We'll have a look after we get done with this Grand Prix, but I'm gonna use the DRS and my battery and try and set a fastest lap on my own here on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Fastest lap currently is a 1:24.0. I imagine I probably can't get anywhere near it, but I'll give it a go with my battery. You never know. Oh, no, I wanted DRS. I wanted to get DRS on George if I could, but it just came up in the bottom middle that my DRS is offline. What are the chances? I'm not within DRS range of him, thankfully, nor do I need it to defend from someone behind. Charles Leclerc, as he wins the race, sets the fastest lap of it with a 1:22 flat. Don't know whether anyone else is going to set a fastest lap. They are. Max goes again, a 1:21.9. So Charles thought he had the fastest lap and maximum points. He does not. Max Verstappen gets 19, not 18. Are we going to set our own personal fastest lap of the race? We are. 22.9 by 1 second. 1.1 second we start our fastest lap of the race. And for the first time ever in this save, points for Chesnoid Racing. Sergio Perez absolutely deserves driver of the day. I think we deserve driver of the Saturday. Qualifying P7 in the 9th slowest car is certainly an achievement. Leno's, thank you very much for the follow, mate. We land ourselves 2 points as we wait for the Grand Prix to end. Thrilled with that. Absolutely delighted with it. We do believe it's track specific. We don't think that we will stand the chance of scoring points again in Imola or probably for a few races now. But to get a point on the board this early is a massive morale boost. It's fantastic for us. Charles Leclerc winning yet another Grand Prix, celebrating with Carlos Sainz, who managed to come home in P3. Max Verstappen on the podium again. We're going to see those three on the podium a lot in real life, just as we saw Hambot Ver. Now we're going to see Leclerc, Sainz. To be fair, Checo's going to get involved as well. And Max Verstappen on the podium. Oh, can't believe it. Points. Unbelievable. If you haven't dropped the video a like on YouTube by now, or if you haven't followed here on Twitch by now, then you absolutely need to right now, please. Both. Hayden, thank you for the follow. Congratulations, Carlos. You're going to lift your trophy. Can we have a P9 trophy lift? For P9, or the Logitech G923 Tournament Champion 2020. Even though Jimmy Broadbent actually beat me. Hey, P9! Oh, let's go! 2 points! P9! P9! Teo only finishes 18th in the end, unfortunately. Just not quick enough. Oh, thrilled with that. Absolutely thrilled. We're going to be level 5 now with our team acclaim. And I think that means we can get another sponsor, which is going to further boost our progression and our development and our finances. We both cost the team some money, unfortunately. That's not a problem. I think we might just have the opportunity to add a sponsor now. Oh, a couple of my thingies failed. Corporate. We do! We can have a secondary sponsor. Let's go. Right, weekly income. Let's sort by weekly income. Out-qualify your rival. I don't have a rival yet. Beat your rival during a race. Achieve a top 10 finish. We're not going to be able to do that. Top 12 finish. Score 1 Constructors' Championship point during a race weekend. Complete a race without a single corner cut. Lol. Qualify P15 or better. I don't know if I can do that, though. Complete all practice programs. We can do that. We can do that for Distort. That's 108 grand for the goal bonus and 67.5 up front. That's probably the best one we can do. Let's go for that. Okay, well, I'll fiddle with that off stream and add some more decals to the thingy. But let's advance time and get our activities done. So, chassis team building, we can do that. That's 2 days. More chassis equipment upgrade. Let's do that as well. And I've got 4 days for vehicle PR filming. Give me more team acclaim and more cash, but it will cost me morale in my departments. I'll go for the external driver training and the sponsor event. That's what we'll do. And then we'll head towards the Pirelli Hot Lap. So up next, in the next video on YouTube, will be the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix from Imola, including our first sprint race qualifying of the season. We'll qualify like we normally do on a Saturday on the Friday, and then we'll head to a sprint race on a Saturday and a full race on a Sunday. So it might be a bumper length, well, it will be a bumper length episode for you in the next one. That's all for this today, though. Thank you very much for watching YouTube. Drop the video a like. Make sure you subscribe to the ChesnoidPlays channel. And please come and join me on stream and celebrate these victories, in inverted commas, these milestones live with me. It'd be great to have you. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.